free-for-all. Time to work, soldiers.
The last time I uploaded Call of Duty Ghosts, it was not received very well. Some of you even went as far as to say, never upload Call of Duty Ghosts ever again. And I guess I can't really blame you. I understand that some people have some ill feelings towards Call of Duty Ghosts, but it's a part of the Call of Duty family, and I'm a Call of Duty player, so once in a while I still want to make some videos on Call of Duty Ghosts. Unfortunately, making videos or commentaries on Call of Duty Ghosts means I have to get a gameplay to talk over, because Ghost is probably the one Call of Duty that I don't have videos stacked up on my hard drive. So that means I had to play it. I played a couple free-for-all games. I did not, two exactly, I think. It was not very much fun. This game was kind of slow. I had to cut out a couple parts. I'm using this, I think it's the Bison, I don't know. I guess that got a buff recently, I don't know. I figured I would use it. And I like the gun, and I don't really like this map at all. From what I remember, I only have about an hour played on Ghosts in the past, well, pretty much all of 2014 so far. But the first game, I was going to upload it because it pretty much epitomized my feelings on Call of Duty Ghosts. I think I had like 12 deaths. I won the free-for-all, but I had like 12 deaths. It was like a 10-minute free-for-all. And all of my deaths, at least during the kill cam, the person wasn't moving. But it was too boring. I couldn't do it. This one's still kind of a long gameplay, but at least I was able to see people once in a while. But basically what I want to do in this video is to kind of go over my initial impressions video that I did after Ghost was released, and just compare my feelings towards the game then and now, 5 months later, and kind of see what's changed, what's gotten worse, what's gotten better. And again, I don't really play the game much, but I still, have a feeling for how Ghost plays. And I guess I did the same thing for Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. And as humans, we jump the gun a lot. We either judge something too negatively or we praise it too much. We don't really give it time to sink in. So I do those initial impression videos just to kind of see, this dude just took an IMS to the face and then he wrecked me. I just kind of want to see how much my impressions have changed, if they've changed at all. So basically what I talked about in my initial impressions video was, I thought Ghost was a very mechanically sound game, probably the most mechanically sound we've had in a while. And I talked about that I thought it was a good game, but some of the concerns that I had were the maps were too big and too intricate, and they hurt the kill streaks, and the kill streaks themselves are too weak in my opinion. I talked about how there's a lot of camper tools, the game kind of seems slow. Even though there's lower health, the game just seemed to play a little bit slow. I actually thought that lower health would help, because you could run around and get kills, but I guess it kind of backfired in that people are afraid to die. I don't know what they're afraid to die from, considering the assault streaks aren't very good, but people just don't like dying, I guess. I also talked about how I thought that like IEDs would be a problem. I talked about how I pretty much just I talked about how I liked the game, but I just didn't think that it fit my play style, and I thought that it was a little bit slow. Now, 5 months later, I would say the game has definitely gotten slower. People have slowed down quite a bit. They don't really move very much. And again, this is Xbox 360. I've never played Ground War, so maybe it's a little bit better on Ground War. But the maps are definitely an issue. Again, I don't have the DLC, so maybe the DLC has helped with smaller maps. But the maps and the kill streaks, I think, are the biggest things that hurt Call of Duty Ghosts. And I know that everybody has an idea of the issues with this game. I don't need to harp on the issues. It's just more of a comparison to what I felt before, and kind of like that. Throw an IED, sit in a corner. We all know how it is. So in comparisons to my feelings back then and my comparisons to now, I kind of say I was pretty close. I think I thought it was a decent game, and I still think Ghost is a decent game. But I just think it was kind of hurt by the community. I mean, I even talked about Cranked, how I thought Cranked was just a great idea. I loved it that Infinity Ward or whoever made this multiplayer put it into the game. I thought it was a great idea, but it was ruined not only by the maps, but just by the people just not moving. I mean, a game mode dedicated to rushing, and people would still just sit in corners. I mean, that's unbelievable. I think it goes to show that sometimes the developers can put in something that they think is going to be fun and good for the game, and it just turns out not being very good thanks to the player base. Sometimes the developers just can't win. But I kind of want to know what you guys think with your comparisons as well. How does the game feel to you now compared to back then? Has it gotten better for you? Has it gotten worse? You know, like I said, sometimes we judge things too quickly, and it's fun to go back, especially when we have video evidence in this wonderful world of technology, and we can kind of compare. But anyway, I was kind of more negative in this video than I wanted to be. I don't know if you guys remember my Staying Positive series. I don't think I've done one for Ghost. Maybe I need to do one for Ghost to bring back my positivity. Either way, I'm sure this is my last Call of Duty video, Ghost video, for a while. I'm sure you guys are brokenhearted about that, but anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Later.